Taboo Talks. Hi. Welcome to Taboo Talks, episode 19. Today, I'm going to have a guest on Taboo Talks, and her name is Kara. Is that Kara Bensley?
That is Kara Bensley.
From the Wild Shop here in Singapore. Yay! Come on, Kara.
Thanks
We're
for
sitting
having me
here
on.
in Wild Shop.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. Oh, we can't see you.
That's all right.
Right. So I really wanted.
Hi, guys.
I really wanted to, kind of talk to you, Kara, because I'm a big fan of the Wild Shop or mental health, to put it positively.
Yeah.
But not from the perspective of the person suffering from it, but more from the partner or the family members, the people close by, right? And I thought actually that was such a friend. Yeah. And I think that I really thought that that's such a good topic to bring up, because I, for one, didn't even think about it. So do you always
I guess we always think about people suffering from mental health issues, and I know everybody at some point in their life is touched by it, whether it's personally or professionally. And I think, obviously I've said this before in terms of COVID, it's exacerbated a lot of these sort of issues surrounding mental health.
Yeah, definitely.
I just feel like the emphasis is always, not always, but it can be highlighted with the person that's suffering, but we don't really talk about the people who are kind of living with the person or working with the person or super close. It could be your bestie. What do you feel the taboo is there as the bestie or the family or the partner of the person suffering from the mental illness, having the mental health problem? Well, look, as I've sort of delved deep into it, it becomes a lack of understanding about what mental health is, and it's so broad. From your depression to anxiety to, it's just so broad. And, I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but, it's sort of, you see a lot of people just, dealing with it in their own way.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think the taboo is that they don't talk about it as well, because they're sort of keeping it inside, trying to, get on with their day and, do their own thing and, have their own coping mechanisms, but they don't sort of talk about how they're being affected so much.
And you said it's also because they feel that they don't have the right to talk about it, because it's not really their problem, but actually the partner or the family member's problem.
Or they just don't know who to reach out to, or they don't know who to talk to about it. And I mean, as women, I think it's great, we always get together and we can always go, hey, look, I'm really struggling, or but men, I think is, it's a big one. They don't also, their wife or their best mate or is suffering, and they don't know how to bring it up, or even say to their mate, mate, how are you?
Yes.
How do you want to have a chat about how things are? And because I think bros kind of, there's that kind of line.
There's that line.
That is not, it's hard to push past everything's fine, everything's going dandy, and then it's hard to open up to say, no, actually, things aren't really that great. And to let it out and be like, man, I'm just, I'm struggling, So, and for the person sort of opening up to say, hey, look, I'm not really understanding what you're going through, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to post it on our blog, but I found lots of really good articles just with quick tips on just how, what to do as that person.
Can you share some of them?
Busy at work, and you're, in the corporate world, even if you have kids, it's hard. It's hard to juggle, and to have that either person at home or at work that you're dealing with. It's sort of people have this thing about being selfish, but I feel like it's not really. It's if you put yourself first, then you're able to care for other people.
Yes, and I always say that. You need to look after yourself first before you can look after others.
Yeah, and people struggle with that. They might not be suffering from depression or anxiety or any of those, but they're still not putting themselves first. They're like trying to take care of everyone
so
else.
Then they end up like in this situation where they're like constantly trying to look after the other person, but not look after themselves.
That's right, and then that can lead to borderline mental health issues.
So yes, tell us some tips. Like what can we do about that? Like first as that partner, family member, and then wider as a society and network. What can we do?
Yeah, I think like just really do some research, like get some books on it. I've just recently bought a book on, psychotherapy. I actually have, I've been seeing a psychotherapist to help me.
What's a psychotherapist? Like, how is that like different from a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Okay, so I haven't read the book yet, but I can show you. Yeah, it's not like your typical therapy session, or it's more like a. You lie down, you close your eyes, and you sort of, they talk sweetly to you, and then that you tell them what they see. So it's like really delving into colors, patterns, like right into your psych. Yeah, your psych. Is that it? Your psych.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. So this is my new little book.
What does it say?
It's what is psychotherapy? So I think like the first thing is just to acknowledge that there is a problem. I think that is. That it is affecting you in your daily life, and how you get on with whether it's your career or your kids or whatever. If you are, maybe just kind of say to myself, okay, this is not really feeling right, and actually take some action and either do some research, get some therapy yourself. I think that's that's a big one. And I guess the reason why this whole Taboo Talk was instigated was a lot of people recently, just in my life broadly, this has been the issue. That's why I kind of brought it up to you, because it was really relevant.
I can totally relate, because it's like if you're not the one suffering with the depression, let's just give for example depression, but one may feel like, oh, I don't have the right to seek help because I'm not the one who's ill. But then
their suffering is your suffering in a sense.
Yes.
So it's because you've got to get on with it as well.
Yes.
And finding ways to cope with that is really, really important. There's a fantastic page on Instagram called BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Okay. Yeah, at BetterHelp. And they have some really fantastic. I'm going to put them on our stories tonight. I've already screenshotted all the.
Nice.
And
I want to read this. What is psychotherapy? The School of Life. This is cool.
So I think just having that better understanding of what mental health is, people don't really know. So doing the research, I think, is the best way. So BetterHelp, it's here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you can actually get therapy through these guys.
Wow.
So they have therapists that you can actually contact and do FaceTime with.
Oh, that's really helpful.
All over the world.
Wow.
If they want to reach out and they don't want to pick up the phone, can I come see you? So it's more you've got that kind of your virtual option, I guess. And I think it's
I love virtual options.
Yeah,
these days.
Yeah, right.
It saves a lot of time.
Therapy, virtual, everything.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just following people like doctors who are out there. I found this chick today, Brain Body Doc. So I'll put all this on I'll share this with you as well. She's got how effective ways for you to reduce stress, and I think just reading and being subjecting yourself to positive things. If things are annoying you or whatever, just unfollow. That's what I feel, because then they won't come up in your feed.
Yes.
And actually just searched the tag depression help, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
And all this stuff came up. So
wow.
you can just go Instagram hashtag,
depression help,
and obviously Google's
your
friend. I think just everyone needs to give themselves a break. I see so many people, we just put so much, additional stress on ourselves. I think that's just one other coping mechanism. Just try and remove that stress, as much as you possibly can. Do things that make you happy, whether it's drawing or painting or I don't know,
whatever.
beading.
Yeah.
My girls love to crochet. You know, just find like little things that, you know, really do bring you joy and don't bring you down, I guess. And look, I know it's always easier said than done. But if we kind of make ourselves aware of it, like, oh, I'm going into that zone. I need to quickly get out of that zone and do something that's fun, or just do something different. Or another way I think is do the research, take the slack off yourself that's unnecessary. But look, a big one is just compassion.
Compassion, self-compassion,
and compassion for the brother, the sister, the mother, the best friend, the partner who's suffering. It's not a pleasant journey for them. They didn't ask for it. And I think sometimes when you don't understand what they're going through, it can be very frustrating. So look, compassion's just a big one. It's, you know, something
it's
I
hard,
learned
though, right? It's really hard.
It is really hard. But I think self-awareness. Self-awareness is a big one. Like when you become self-aware that either you're maybe not saying the right things or you're not behaving the way maybe you should, you know, then you sort of, you know, tap yourself and be like, oh, that wasn't the right thing to say. And just having compassion and empathy for the people that are suffering is another.
I think that's
again,
really
it's a very broad, you know, compassion's a very loose word, but you know, just being self-aware that to be compassionate is, you know, and because I know it is hard. It is very hard,
especially if you're living with the person and you're trying to get on with life, and you know, you feel
there's
like
so
this
many
person's
things
not...
to do.
Well,
like and if it's bringing you down at the end of the day. Sometimes when you switch yourself to, all I need to do is be a little bit more compassionate, you know, instead of being hard on yourself and then being hard on that person as well, or getting frustrated or...
So what's the 3 again?
So it's research.
Research.
So find out,
like hashtag depression help. Read.
Read, buy books.
Buy books. Or
get a therapist. Reach
for
out.
yourself.
Or just talk to a friend. Like, let it out and be like, oh man, like I'm struggling as well.
Compassion.
Self-compassion.
Compassion for others.
Compassion for others, and just finding different ways to talk to those people, because I know it's hard to talk to partners, and because obviously it's very hard for them to talk to you as well. That's you know,
that too,
so having
right?
that you know, and being a person that they can come to. They don't necessarily say the right things, so that the person that's suffering doesn't feel open enough to talk to their mom or their wife or whatever. So just that's a big one. And I guess that, like, well, the 4th one would be, you know, doing that, and then, you know, encouraging that person, if they haven't, the person who is suffering, to get help.
I think that's really important.
Super important.
Because
you
they can't expect to, you know, just get better on their own or rely entirely on you as the supportive, you know, person.
Correct.
To help them through it. They need to get help. You need to get help. Like, you know, then everybody helps everyone to get stronger.
And you're not alone. Like, I think people just, it's so isolating, and
it is.
People just feel so alone, and they're like, oh, I just can't talk about it. But I think once people do sort of get over that hump and they go, oh, okay, like, I need to address this. And once they do, it's freeing. You know, it's like, oh wow, you know, I can talk to someone about it, and I can tell someone how I feel about it. You know, and then that helps them to better cope with the person suffering.
Cool, thank you. I think that's a really, really, really important topic to talk about, and thank you so much for sharing this and all your tips as well. I'm like really looking forward to. Now I want to look up psychotherapy. Well, thank you very much, Kara, for tonight. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing this up as a topic which is really, really important and most of the time overlooked, I feel, because we focus on the person suffering but not the people around them as well, which is equally important.
Yes.
So yes, thank you for tuning in, and please drop me a comment, a question. If you have any, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.
Night, guys.